Welcome everyone. Welcome to this week's Deal Finder Corner. So this is your weekly property talk show brought to you by Property Filter, hosted by myself, Guillaume Black, the CEO and co-founder at Property Filter. And we here really are on a mission to empower our property investor and deal sponsors, doing over a few thousand deals this year thanks to the Property Filter blueprint. So the purpose really with this Deal Finder Corners is to give you more and the best of the available resources by inviting expert guests who will share with you the latest, most current and secrets, like tactics and strategies, but what actually works right now in terms of making and doing deals, and the reality of systemizing and running a high-performance business in property that actually makes you money and do all the stuff we get into this game to start with. So really, it's my pleasure today to introduce my good friends, Reshma Thakore and Hav Singh. We'll hear first from Hav on today's Deal Finder Corner. So the duo are the co-founders of Old My Hand Sourcing, which is the UK's fastest growing community for deal sourcers. So if you think this is like a sourcing club, a co-sourcing club, a place where people actually close lots of deals and sell them to investors, and the creators of SiteFindr. So this is SiteFindr is more for the on the investor side if you want to buy ready-made high quality deals. So together they've generated more than 50 million of sales in UK property over the years, and they've built a thriving ecosystem of now 200 active members under the All My Hand Sourcing banner, which is great. And we've got access to literally thousands of cash-ready investors that they've qualified and are ready to buy your deal. So their mission is simple. They want to deliver real results, not just the theory. They make money when you make money. It's all about like getting those deals across the line. And they want to help you as a member package, present, and profit from deals using proven strategies and held support that they deliver for you and things that actually work. So in this episode, we are going to cover the exact sourcing system that can generate you $5,000 a month each and every month. They'll share with you a step-by-step framework for finding, analyzing, selling profitable property deals consistently. Or you can leverage systems and network for exponential growth, so access proven tools and a network of more than 2,000 ready-to-pay investors to buy your deals. Lessons from 50 million deals sales, the mistakes, the breakthroughs, the insider knowledge from doing deals at scale. Or you can scale your deal flow without burning out, or you can do 10 times fewer things, but actually get 10 times more results. So very much aligned with our vision here, and how community and systems will bring you success. So the daily supports, accountability, live investor criteria that turns inspiring sourcers into the actual deal makers that actually get paid, when the deals comes across the line. So, and they'll take us through the whole practical strategy that takes you from first deal to a consistent income. So people think finding the deal is hard. It's hard when it's your first one, but very, very quickly you can build incredible momentum and scale really, really fast. And that's really the idea here. So very much looking forward to hear more about the two of you today. So please, all of you guys, join me and give a Property Filter virtual welcome to Mr. Hav Singh and Miss Reshma Thakore. Oh, over to you.
Hey, appreciate it. What an intro. Bloody hell,
Thanks,
like that. Yeah.
Oh, that's why they pay me so much, right?
Yeah. That's good. Really good. Hi guys. So I'm just looking through the thing. I think I know a few of you. If you know me, can you just put number one? Hi, Aussie. Can you just put a 1 in the chat? I just want to make sure we're all working as well. Yeah, Sarah, I know Sarah. Deepa, I know. Okay, good. Oh, okay. Oh, Gilliam, obviously. I've just noticed something. 1 second. Sorry. This is my quiz. I forget. We do a quiz.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I was like, what the hell is that? What's up here?
Okay, right. I was thinking it looks a bit plain over here, so we'll just put some color. Right, let me share my screen and we'll just get on with it. I appreciate you guys. I know who's serious who comes to a Thursday session. I know who's serious in property. So let me just share my screen. Give me a second. There we go. All right. Can you tell me when you can see that, Gilliam?
Yeah. Can see your the black screen, a browser,
black screen,
Google slide. Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Yeah. Okay, let me maximize that. No, I can't see you, so that's all good. Okay.
Are you supposed to have a black screen on?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be black screen.
Oh, okay.
I don't need any words. I'm just going to talk.
Okay.
You can just look at me. Okay. No. Right. What I'm going to do in the next 25 to 30 minutes is I'm going to show you exactly how you can earn an extra 60K a year. And if you're already investing in property, or you already started sourcing, then I'm going to show you can do this without actually doing too much more. But I'm also going to set some realistic expectations for you when I show you how you actually do this. Okay. So that's the goal of the next 20 minutes, 25 minutes, half an hour, however long it takes. We'll do some Q&A at the end as well. Okay. So also, someone is going to win a prize or some money, whatever ends up here. So what I do generally is as I'm talking, I'm expecting you guys to listen, but actually the way you actually learn stuff fast is by writing stuff down. And I'm going to say a lot of stuff in the next 25 minutes. I'm really going to fly through it because we don't have all the time in the world. And so write some stuff down. I'm going to randomly ask you a question. Whoever gets that question right, I spin the thing and you win. I'll probably do 2 quizzes. I don't know. Let's see how it goes. A bit about me, or me and Reshma. So we started an estate agency in South London in 2012. Okay, it was in Croydon. We survived. 2017, 18, 19, we started winning awards. We won multiple awards through the years. 2019, we actually started selling more properties to investors than end buyers, which wasn't what we expected. Obviously, we started an estate agency. We just wanted to sell houses, but it so turned out that sources and investors came into our office because we had a high street office. That was a thing back then. They would come in, make themselves known, tell us what they want. Took a bit of time for me to understand what they were asking for, but when I did, and I understood there's a different world out there than just estate agency, we started shifting our model a little bit and just finding deals. So for 2020, we were pretty much sourcing full time, but we still had the agency running. Okay. So there was a lot going on. Now we were earning a lot more money by finding these properties for investors, and it was a lot easier. It was a lot less work for us because I already knew who was going to buy the property I was going out to value. So when I was going out to do these valuations, I'd say, oh, you know what? If this can be at this price, I might be able to sell this before you actually instruct me. So just give me a few days and let me see what I can do. And I'd win a lot of instructions like that because I already knew who was going to buy on the other end. 2022, we decided this is a lot. This is a hell of a lot going on. We've built this business in Croydon in South London. It's a very localized business. So we decided, let's just take the hit. We sold off our entire lettings and management stock. We sold the estate agency. We still own the name, which was called Appleton, but we sold basically everything it was doing. And that was pretty scary because obviously that's our income. We had our properties. We built a little portfolio over those few years. But it was pretty scary. We started from scratch. And what we didn't realize, because now we wanted to build a national company and to really help others sell deals faster, we kind of had to start from nothing. Like, we didn't have that investors database. We only had a small database in Croydon. We didn't really have any other networks across the country. And we were like, okay, so what now? So, we did it. We learned from what we had done since 2012. And 2023, we started SiteFindr, which is a marketplace for investors to find great deals. And we do that by teaming up with everyone. I'm going to explain that in a second. Okay, we've done over £300,000 in the last couple of years, which is quite nice. And in just a few months ago, in 2025, end of 2025, we started a community called Hold My Hand Sourcing, which literally says what it does on the tin. We just hold your hand until you make some serious money. Okay, we will just keep going. And we've sold over £50 million worth of property. Like, we've been in this game for a very, very long time. We know what we're doing, especially on the sales end. We understand that whole world of progression, solicitors, brokers. We know how to talk to them, and we just pass that information down because we found a really, really fast way to grow. And I'm going to show you that. But just on a personal note, I'm a guitar player. I play music. I'm in multiple bands. I make stupid faces like that. I even get asked to come on film sets sometimes. So this is a Bollywood film. I look even stupider. You can see me wearing a ridiculous mask, but that got like 100 million views on YouTube. It's pretty nice. And I love my cars. I race cars. So I'm just a normal thing. And obviously, my family, my wife, Reshma, who we're business partners. We have been since 2012. And my 2 kids. So I'm just a normal person. I don't sleep much. I do a lot of stuff. And systemizing has allowed me to really have a good personal balance, a good balance between personal life, fun, and work. And I don't really see any of this as work anymore. And it's nice, right? Let me get to it. So, what is deal sourcing? Just gonna explain it in its very basic format, just in case there are a few of you here who are a little bit unsure, because I think a lot of you might not actually know what sourcing is in its actual truest form. Okay, so in its basic format, this is what it is. You've got a vendor, which is on the left-hand side, as you can see. You've got an investor on the other side, and you as a sourcer or an agent are just in the middle. Actually, this arrow here should have been facing the other way, but you are basically the facilitator between these two people, right? You find the investor, you find them deals, you find deals, and you find the investor, and you make money in the middle. Okay, it's a really good place to be. If you want to earn a lot of money, you really want to be in the middle of something where there is lots of money going through, and you just take the bits in between. Okay, that's all sourcing is in its very basic format. I will explain a bit more. Now, why wouldn't you go? Why wouldn't the investor go direct to the vendor? Okay, so that's a question I get a lot. Why wouldn't they go direct to the vendor? And there's loads of reasons, but let me give you the main few reasons why that is. First of all, there are different types of investors, but what we want to do especially when we're at the earliest stages of the game, is we want to work with investors who will just buy properties relatively quickly. Okay, they're not difficult to pitch to or to sell to. They just want to build their portfolio, and actually, they're maybe not the type of investor that you think. Okay, so there are different types. There's cash buying investors, like these big cash buying companies who buy 200, 300, 400 houses a year, and they're great. They're called traders. They kind of just buy, they hold some, sell some, keep some for rent, and they'll just do anything to make money in the game. Typically quite hard to sell deals to, but they buy very, very quickly. And there's another type. There's a few other types, but the main other type is like your kind of passive investors, like a professional, right? A doctor, a GP, a dentist, just millions of them in the country who may have a house, a rental property. They may have another asset was bringing them money, but that's not their primary goal. They don't really know too much about it. And they really are not investors as such, but they have invested in property. And those ones are actually really, really good to work with, especially as an agent or a sourcer, because you're going to essentially package something up for these guys, and they're going to have to pay you a lot of money for that. And they're willing to do it because they can't do it. Why can't they do it? Similar to me. I have work. I can't find deals myself, by the way. I don't have time for it. That's crazy to say because I run this business. That's all we do is find deals. But for myself, I can't do it. Like, I just don't have the time to do it. Okay, so I've got essentially what you could say is work. Just like these other guys, girls, they all have work that they're doing, not in property. They might not be doing it in property. May have other jobs. They just can't find the time. Okay, they've got friends and family. They got to spend time with. That might be their priority. It probably is. So they just don't have time to find deals. They may already have a few properties and they've got to manage those little small portfolios, maybe, even if it's one HMO that can drive you up the wall. So that might be taking the time. When are they going to find deal? They just don't have time. And then they do other things, like I have traveled the world playing music. I'm racing cars. I'm doing all this sort of stuff, spending time with family on holidays, leisure, like all of that stuff. You just don't find the time because it takes time to find properties, good deals, right? So when are they going to find these deals? They can't. Okay, so that's why they don't really go direct to vendor. They shouldn't be going direct to vendor. Sorry, they should be going direct to vendor, but most of them don't. They just can't find the time. So it's better to almost, you could say, employ someone in the middle or work with someone in the middle who will do that for them. Okay. Honestly, it's one of the best places to be. The thing is, being in the middle as a sourcer, doing this job of finding deals, it's not for everyone. Okay. Now, I know a few of you are here and you've seen this before. So I think you should see it. This is such an. I've had so many responses back to how this graph really hits emotions. And actually, when you feel one of these emotions, can you just say me in the comments, in the chat box? Just say me when you feel any of these emotions. This is what I call a deal source's pain joy graph. Okay, you got pain and joy on the left, and you've got time on the right, on the bottom, and this red line represents a deal source's journey. Okay. Looks pretty ridiculous as it is. To be honest, this is in any business. I'm going through one of these cycles right now. But when you generally start something, when you're starting this sourcing business, you're quite excited, okay? Because the money can be huge and that excites people, right? There's a lot of money to be made. So you really do go all in. You're really excited. Very, very quickly, you realize it's not actually that easy. Okay, honestly, it's not that easy. And you will try to do this and the first part of making money is not making money. It's actually learning and making mistakes, messing up and learning, and then moving forward. So you will hit that and that will feel pretty bad. But with the right support, the right guidance, being part of networks like you are with Property Filter, this is what pushes you to keep going. So you do. And you feel happy, you got the support, you can keep going. You might find a deal at this point, find something that works. You might have onboarded an investor. They may have said, yep, this is what I'm looking for. You think you found something. You do all the work. You do everything, the viewings, the calculations, the numbers. You give it to them, or you give it to a few investors, and they all just come back and say no. And this is where, this could be a few months, right? And you're really feeling like this thing doesn't work. And you couldn't be more wrong, but you will feel like that. Okay. And this cycle happens in every business. Trust me, every single business. And you have to go through this phase, this system. So you'll get to this point, and this is what I call the breaking point. Okay. This is where most people give up. I've seen it countless times. Okay. It's where you feel like you want to give up. But you keep going, you keep consistent, you keep talking to people, you see results from other people, and you keep going, you keep putting offers in, you keep getting rejected, you keep talking to investors, and slowly but surely things start moving. You keep moving up this graph, and you hit the jackpot, you get paid, and suddenly you realize the industry standard is £5,000. So you just hit a 5K paycheck, and you're like, okay, this thing can actually work. This can work. So you try it again, and it doesn't work. But then you go through that whole cycle again. The important thing is you never, ever go down to the bottom, because like Gilliam said at the start, that first deal, that first one is honestly, it's the hardest thing to do, because you're still learning, right? You're still trying to learn the game. So this is the longest part of this process. When you get up here, you've understood something, right? You've understood what you did here to make a good success. And then you just gotta ride this wave. But these paychecks are so good, and they can be so frequent. When you get good at it, it is really, really good. I've built an entire life of it, and many, many people have. You don't have to do anything as crazy that I'm doing, but you can. There's no reason why you can't do this, right? The thing is, look at all these emotions on the screen, and this is why I say this is not for everyone. Okay, not everyone can handle these types of emotions. And it is a lot to do with mindset. It's a lot to do with actually understanding that these emotions are involved, not just jumping in thinking this is going to be easy, because I'm telling you now it's not going to be easy. But with the right, community around you that you're in already, you can actually overcome all of this and just flatten out. Okay, this is the meh face. And this is the face that you really do need to be successful in this entire business. You just got to keep it flat, keep it simple. There's no emotions in here. We don't want to have emotions. I know this is a business. This is money I'm trying to earn. This is not an emotional thing. I don't want to love any of these properties that I'm looking at. I don't want to hate any of these properties that I'm looking at. I don't care what estate agents say. I don't care if they say no. It's just how it is. If you understand that, you can build your mindset from the start to understand that this is the face that you need. This is the face that you need. Kind of looks like what I look like when I wake up in the morning. Okay, so the main problems here, you'll have all these emotions actually because you've got a couple of problems. You might not know what a deal really is. Okay. Oh, someone's calling me. Okay, you might not know what a deal actually is. You might not have any credibility at this stage. You might not know how to find deals that actually sell. Okay, that's on or off the market. By the way, most of our deals are on the market that we sell. Okay, so if people say you have to go direct to vendor, is rubbish. You should go direct to vendor, but you can sell deals. I'm going to show you how in a minute. You might not have any investors to sell deals to. I don't believe that's really a sentence in today's day and age. It's more a mindset thing. You guys are all in a community where you have investors. The problem is you don't know what to say to them. Okay, you don't have the confidence to talk to them yet, which is fine. And the other side of it is that you probably haven't got enough support to check over these deals with you in a very specific format to get them ready to sell deals. Okay, it's very, very specific. It's not about, I'm not showing you how to buy deals here. Although it's the same mentality, it really is. There's a very specific way to do this in order to present deals to sell. Okay, that's all I've been doing since 2012. You might not have a way to progress it. If you've never sold a property before, this is where everything falls down, the progression part. Okay, so you might not know how that happens. And so these problems they build up, and they build all these emotions inside this entire process, this entire cycle. And you have to just understand how to use other people to get this stuff done, to eliminate these problems. And you can actually do that yourself by following these things, this thing that I've built called the 3 pillars of sourcing. It only really needs 3 pillars, okay? One is clarity, one is consistency, and the other is confidence. Are you guys writing stuff down? Because I'm going to ask you a question in a minute. I hope you're writing stuff down, because you won't be able to remember everything I'll tell you now. Clarity, pillar number 1. So you need to understand what strategy within the umbrella of the word deal sourcing you want to specialize in. Okay, and there's a lot. Just a few of them. You got fix and flips, BRRR, rent to rent, commercial to resi, short lease deals, title splitting, creative lease options. There's a countless amount of strategies, but then within there are different types, right? For example, BRRR, you got 1 to 2 bed conversions, which are very similar to which are completely different to 3 to 6 bed HMO conversions, okay, which are different to 2 to 4 bed house conversions. Okay, so you're buying the property, you're showing the investor you're going to buy this property, you're going to refurb it, but what you're doing is you're adding value at this stage, and you need to know that. Okay, you need to be clear what you're saying, and to do that, you just got to learn. It just takes a bit of time, and there's loads, and then you're going to rent it out, and then you're going to refinance this deal, and you will only have a little bit of money left in the deal, and you need to be very, very clear on this, very, very clear. Let me explain. So if you don't understand this, and if you haven't actually bought a property yourself before, if you're not an investor yourself, you might not understand this. Okay, and that's where you need to borrow information from other people, from other communities, to understand how do investors actually think, which is quite difficult if you haven't done it yourself before. Okay, I'm going to touch a bit more on that in a second. And you need to really, by being clear, you need to this is it really. You need to prove to the investor, you need to show proof, hard data, hard evidence, not it could be. You need to show that everything that you're presenting is as close as you can get to being the deal that you're showing. Okay, so the investor only has to say, yes, that looks like a good deal. If the investor has to think too much for more than 10 minutes, they're going to walk away. They're just going to be like, I'm not sure. Maybe I don't have the time. I'm at work. I'm fixing someone's teeth. I don't have time to look at it. I just want to know, is it a deal? Because I've seen all the comparables. I've seen everything. You've given me everything, and I'm going to go into it a bit more. Okay. So the important thing is to understand you're trying to make it clear to the investor that you are clear on what you're doing. Okay. It comes across. Okay, so just by the way, what I'm saying here is you're building a ready-made deal. Okay, I don't want them to think. And if you look at our website where it says if you join the SiteFindr network, you can buy and sell ready-made deals. So if you're an investor, you can buy deals. If you're a sourcer, you can sell deals. The important bit being ready-made deals. Okay, so it really, really is important. That comes under being clear. Okay, consistency. Now, Gilliam says, everyone says, everyone in the industry says, the deal's in the follow-up, but I actually say the fortune's in the follow-up, because at the end of the day, what are we chasing, right? I'm chasing money. At the end of the day, I want to earn money for whatever the reason is and whatever that thing is. But I'm trying to build something here from either myself, my family, generational wealth, whatever it is I'm trying to build. I'm chasing money, right? So I'm chasing the fortune that I'm trying to build. And if you think about it that way, you don't really see property as any different to anything else. Okay, so if you're chasing and you're following where the money is going, as strategies change, as the industry changes, it doesn't really matter, because you're just following that path. So you're following the fortune. Fortune is in the follow-up. And why people say the deal's in the follow-up is because it specifically means inside property. Let me explain what I mean. This is a vendor's motivation graph. Okay, so on the left-hand side, you've got price, so cheap and expensive, and along the bottom, you've got time. Okay, so you've got a new listing, 3 months, 6 months, and 9 months. This green line is the true market value of that property. Okay, and I'm talking about properties on the market. Okay, because we obviously, if you just click outside this community, go into property filter, you can see millions of properties on the market. So that's what we're talking about. This red line represents a property price. Okay, so when a property is first listed, I'm giving you insiders tips here. When a property is first listed, an estate agent is going to typically overvalue that property. Why? Because we want to win the instruction. Okay, it's just how we are trained, estate agents. I'm not an estate agent anymore, by the way. It's how we are trained. We want to win the instruction so we can earn money. That's all I care about, is earning money. As an estate agency owner, I had staff, right? And I have to pay them commissions. I have to tell them the only thing you care about is earning money. And the only thing they care about is earning money. So we want to win instructions. And the thing, unfortunately, what that means is that estate agents will overvalue properties. Everyone does it, because if you don't, you will lose the listing. So it happens. Trust me, it happens. Not all the time. So they'll get this property, and 3 months later, the property hasn't sold. The listing's been going on. It's been going for 3 months, and nothing's happened. The estate agent calls the vendor, or the vendor calls the estate agent, saying, "Guys, look, contract time is up." Okay, because in the estate agency world, an estate agent wins a when an estate agent signs terms of business with a vendor, it's typically the industry standard time frame is 3 months. Okay, it's really important. It's important to know that. So at the 3 month period, everyone starts worrying. Okay, everyone starts worrying. The vendor says, "You guys are not doing anything. You're not selling it. Haven't had many viewings. What's going on?" And the estate agent's thinking, "Shit, what am I going to do here? I can't lose the listing. I still want to sell it. Let's bring it down to actually what the price actually is, the true market value, down to the green line." So they do it, and great. It actually works, right? This is why you see properties do this. You'll see it on the graph inside Property Filter. You'll see it. It gets sold subject to contract, and okay, the vendor's happy. He's not ecstatic because he thought he was going to get more. The estate agent's he's happy he sold the deal, but he's not going to make as much money as he would have. But okay, he kind of knew that anyway, or she knew that. It's sold subject to contract, but something's not happening, right? It's taking a bit of time to sell, and 3 months go by, and the property still hasn't sold. And the deal then falls through. Now that could be for any reason. Okay, the lending on one side doesn't happen. Someone might have died in the process on either side. We don't know that, right? The thing is, the vendor situation probably hasn't changed. Okay, they've just lost 6 months of their time trying to sell their property. They had plans to move on. Maybe they were moving abroad. Maybe they have to move closer to family. Maybe someone has died inside in their family. We don't know that what's happened, right? So if you're here at this point, you put the offer in here and you don't follow up, you will never ever know that the vendor is willing to sell at this price. Okay, you'll never know that. And this is where I buy all my properties. This is where every good sourcer and investor should be buying properties, in one way of doing this. So this is why we say the fortune's in the follow, or the deal's in the follow-up. Okay, if you don't follow up from that initial time through to 3 months, even after the estate agent says it's sold, because it's never sold until keys are handed over. If you do not follow up, you will never ever get really good quality deals. Okay, you got to follow up. I can't say how important this is. All right. So, and this, I have to. This is so important. This is like the core of this business, because everyone could put in offers. It's only the ones who follow up make money. Okay, and the third pillar is confidence. So you need to be able to present yourself as a credible property entrepreneur, okay? Especially when you're talking to estate agents, especially if you haven't got any credibility at this stage. And you need to be able to relay your deal in its best, like I said earlier, being clear, but you've got to be confident about what you're talking about. I'm going to come to that in an example in a second. And you need to just not give a shit, like I said. You need to have confidence. You need to know when a deal is not a deal, or it doesn't fit your strategy. I don't do blocks of flats. I don't do land development. It's not for me. Just even though it looks exciting, the estate agent may have said, "Oh, this is worth 2.5 million. You can have it for 1.8." You don't know anything about it, so you're going to waste so much time trying to decipher what he's given you, only to realize a month later it's not actually a deal. Nothing works. So just say no and move on to the things that you genuinely have an interest in. Okay, so there's a really good saying: confidence isn't something you're born with; it's borrowed from the people around you. Okay, so I do this, right? Every day, everyone should be doing this. I borrow confidence from my wife, from Reshma. I borrow it every single day, and I use it for myself. From Gilliam, I talk to him all the time. I borrow his confidence from Hanif, one of my mentors. I borrow his confidence from any other mentor that I have. I take the confidence and I use it in myself to build up, and then other people borrow it from me. And it's just so it's a really, really important thing. No one is actually born with it, right? You got to take it from other people, and then let other people take it from you. That's a really good quote. And I say it's a good quote because I came up with it. Okay. So remember those 3 pillars of sourcing? Let's do a quiz. This is how it works. First one to answer correctly wins. Type the answer on one line. Right. Okay. I better just get this chat box up. I can relate. Okay, good. So I'm just seeing some chat. Right. Okay. Remember I showed you this graph earlier. I said something about estate agents and time. So the question is, so you can type the answer. The first one to answer, I'm going to spin this and someone's going to win something. What is the industry standard length of time an estate agent asks for when trying to sell a property? Did I even finish the question? Good. Excellent. And Rizwan, I caught you out, mate. I know you've seen my presentation before. I got you out. Okay. All right. So good. Jordan, who got that? Who got that?
I think we had Jordan Short.
Well done, mate. Let's do this because I'm short on time. I'm going to just spin 3 months, guys. I'm going to explain why in a second. Can you guys see what's happening? Oh, okay. So look, you've won a book of my choice. Now I'm going to send you a flipping good book. It's going to basically elaborate a lot of the stuff I'm saying now was written in a book of like 100 or 150 pages. Really, really important book, and I'll send that to you, mate. So can you please DM me in the community here after this call your details, and I will send that over to you. Well done. It's 3 months, guys. It's so important when you're filtering for properties. Do not look for deals that have just been listed. You can if you know what you're doing, but if you're starting out, don't do that. Please don't do that. Just look at stuff that is coming up to 70 days or 3 months, okay? Because everyone's starting to get a bit fidgety, a bit annoyed. Why is it not selling? What's going on? And if something's been sold for 3 months, you have to call them ASAP because it should have been sold already. Okay, really, really simple. Really, really simple. Okay, let's move on. Well done. Please message me because I will forget by the end of this because I think I'm going to do another one. Is the book available to purchase? Yes. Okay, right. So overcoming emotions. Remember this graph I showed you and all these brimming emotions, and I told you there's a secret way to actually overcome them in its basic format, and this is how you want to look. Well, the way you do this is you have to understand something. You have to have an abundance mindset. Now, it's hard to have that when you haven't actually made money in this game, or if you're just starting out. Again, you've got to borrow it from other people, borrow it from me, borrow it from Gillian, borrow it from Reshma, and just understand that there is an abundance of deals everywhere. Do not get caught up on one deal, okay? There are so many deals everywhere. You can have a deal flow of as many as you want. It just depends how much effort you want to put in. There's also money everywhere, okay? There's an unlimited amount of money here. There's no problem with money. Okay, I was sitting with on a podcast, and he's a financial advisor, a broker. He's sitting there telling me how much money he has access to from his clients have access to. Okay, and I'm sitting on the other side saying, you won't believe how many deals we have access to. And there's no problem in the industry to find deals and find properties and sell properties and be in the middle. But you do want to be in the middle. I'm going to explain a bit more in a bit. Okay, so really, you don't need to worry about the deals. You don't need to there being deals. You don't need to worry about there being money. You just need to concentrate on one thing, and that's finding deals. That's the only thing you need to do. Everything else can fall into place. Okay, so there's a way to do this. And as Gilliam says again, deals are not found. What do you say? Deals are not found. Deals are made. I fully agree. I fully agree. That comes in line with deals in the follow-up. It comes in line with understanding what you're doing, being able to talk to agents, sellers, investors, being a good deal sourcer, being honest. It's all part of making deals, finding deals. But that is what your 10x task should be, because that's where the money is. So what's a good deal? Who wants to know what a good deal is? I know some of you are in. Right? Say yes if you want to know what a good deal is. Let's quickly move this over here. Yeah? Okay. BMV, no. I'm gonna tell you what a good deal is. It's actually the wrong question. Okay, it's actually the wrong question. You want to know what deals sell. Okay, that's all you care about. And remember all of those strategies. Well, I can't tell you everything in those strategies, but I am going to tell you a very, very basic formula. And when I say it to you, you're going to say, no, that's just not possible. But I'm going to show you why it is so possible, even as of today, because I'm buying one. Okay, so there's all these strategies. There's countless number of strategies. You've got to find what you love. And this is a secret formula that if you can find deals like this, you will sell them within an hour. They're not that easy to find unless you know what you're looking for. Okay, and this is where sources get a bit mixed up. Okay, just keep an eye on the time. This is a fix and flip secret formula. The end value minus refurb costs minus 25% minus the sourcing fee is the deal that sells all day long. Okay, you're writing stuff down. I'm going to quiz you in a minute. End value minus refurb costs minus 25% minus your sourcing fee. Okay, so why 25%? So when you put a deposit down on a property, you got to typically put down 25%. Okay, you get a 75% loan, you put down 25%, and you have the property. Now, if you've bought that property 25% below the market value after costs, I'm saying after costs, you've pretty much got an all money out deal. Okay, it's a very, very simple formula. It's very, very standard in the industry. And they can be found, but they have to be found in a certain way. So let me explain. So this is John. I'm going to come back to John in a second, but and I know some of you know him. He came to us and he didn't know what a deal was, had no support, no investors to sell deals to. What he did have those three pillars: consistency and confidence, but he had no clarity. So I really helped him. What he did is he bought this deal into the community, and he said, "Okay, what do I do here?" Now it's in London, in Surbiton. This is the end value: 305,000, 43,000 pounds refurb and lease extension costs, and a sourcing fee of 6,000 pounds. Okay, he offered 190,000 pounds. Sorry, the offer price he should have offered on was just over 190,000 pounds. He offered 190, which is a 25% BMV deal. Obviously, that deal sold within a few hours. But that property was listed at 100, I think it was 195 or 193,000 pounds. It was already below the market value. He had just found how to add value where the value is on the end. Okay, so when I say find 25% BMV deals, I'm not saying find the value of it now and 25% below that. I'm saying find the value of it once it's done in refurb, good condition, whatever you're doing, and then take off 25%, right? That's why I say minus refurb. So John did it again and again and again and again and again. Right. I added this slide just now. So this is something I'm buying. And I want to explain this to you as an investor because it's important that you know this as an investor's point of view. The end value is 415,000 pounds. Okay, the conversion cost, what I'm doing here is I'm adding value. I'm turning this to a 6-bedroom HMO. Okay, it's going to cost me 143,500 pounds. The sourcing and other fees and some bridging costs in there and some other loans is 34,000 pounds. Okay, here's a quick fire quiz. What should my offer price be? Okay, I gave you the formula. What should my offer price be? First one to type it. Let's go. Everyone's getting the calculators out. They're thinking, how much time have I got, G? Got 10 minutes? 15 minutes? Come on. Get those brains spinning. What's the offer price? Is this the first time I'm going to do something where no one wins a prize? 5. I'm going to give 5 more seconds. I need an exact figure. I need an exact figure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, guys. I gave you the formula. The formula is here. End value minus refurb cost minus 25%. I think that's where people get confused. You times it by 0.75 if you're doing it on a calculator. You times by 0.75, okay? The answer actually is 169,652. So I think someone did get really close, right? I think Swamnil. I think you got it. Right, let's go. It wasn't quite right, but I'll give it to you because I'm feeling happy. So
I think we got Lee first. Sorry,
Lee got it. Oh, well done, Lee. Excellent. Oh, aren't you lucky? You get a whole month. You get an extra month. You're already in my community. Bloody hell! It's just I'm going to give you more time in my community. So, well done, and good to. I'm going to see you later on anyway. But okay, let me show you something. What's crazy? How much did we secure it for? The flipping listed price is less than 25. Is more than 25%. It's listed at 130,000 pounds. Obviously, I'm not going to go to the stage and say, "Oh, by the way, I'll pay you 160k." I'm going to take it at 130, which is what happened. So do you see how this is going to be a so far all money idea? I'm not saying these deals always come around, okay? They do come if you know what to look for. The thing is, why was I confident to buy this deal? This is in the north of the country. I'm in the south. I live near Gatwick, down in the south. This is in the north. And why am I don't know anything. I don't have any properties in the north, right? Why am I confident to go ahead and buy this property? Because the sourcer bought me a ready-made deal. Okay, he had a builder ready with quotes. He had all his comps ready with proof. He had estate agents valuations, 3 of them, and he showed me floor plans from other conversions that have happened on the road, exactly what to expect. He knows what he's doing in the area. He understands the street. He told me exactly where this is, what it's in relation to. I had full confidence in it. Then I went and did my due diligence, and everything matched up. So I was like, yeah, cool, nothing to think about. Okay, so I'm buying this because of my confidence in that person. Okay, this was today. This was yesterday. So what just happened? We had a property, and the strategy is add value. This is what the sourcer did. He said, "I'm going to turn this. You're going to turn this from a 3-bed to a 6-bed. This is how you're going to do it. It's going to be worth more." And he just secured it at the asking price. Okay, so this is not difficult. It's not difficult. Okay, loads of people in our community are doing this, and this is what we're explaining. So obviously I showed you John, and all these people are doing things in the community every week. And I just wanted to give a few shout outs. I know you're Property Filter members as well. So Anne has been super consistent in learning, no prior knowledge, had a bit of experience, but no real success stories, and just recently sold her first deal. And I don't know if you're here. Jan, she's from Wales. We're building a little crew in Wales. It's really quite exciting because I like Wales. She probably still wants to clobber me because I keep saying no to a lot of the deals, but they just are not ready, right? They're just not stuff that I wanted to sell, but she's done it, and she's recently sold her first deal. Nathan's just sold 8 deals with us. Phil's constantly selling deals with us. Okay, just going through this a little bit fast because I'm conscious of time. So in our community, we are doing these deals every week. Last month, we did £115,000 worth of fees. One investor, last month we did it. An investor, this has just paid us £83,000 this month. There's a lot of money going on in this community. Okay, you have to understand when I said have an abundance mindset, believe me, there are things happening. Okay, so we're making a lot of money now. You might be saying, how do you earn £60,000? Well, I shouldn't have to really explain this now, because now you understand if you're sitting in the middle between money, where money is transferring between an investor and a seller, you're in the middle, you're collecting money. So the industry standard is to make £5,000 per deal you make. Obviously, you can make a lot more. My biggest fee was £150,000 on one deal. So one deal a month is 60K a year. Very, very simple. If you've got no experience, I'm just going to be really flat out and blunt about this. If you've got no experience, you're just starting out, you will not do this in your first year unless you are going to dedicate your full time to this, which you don't need to do. Okay. If you're an investor already and you've bought properties or you've got experience in sourcing, there's no reason you can't do this in 1 to 3 months, because if you're an investor, you are already doing this. You're just thinking another way. You're thinking, I'm looking at these deals, I'm packaging them up, I'm doing all my due diligence, and I want to buy them. But you know what? That deal doesn't work, so let me just leave it. It doesn't work. Why are you not selling that deal on as a package deal? Why are you not doing it? It just doesn't make any sense. So if you did one of those a month, that's an extra £60,000. How many flipping holidays is that? Okay, but yeah, okay, so you're starting out, you don't have any deals or investors, but you kind of have to have one to do this. Okay, you have to either have the deals or the investors, otherwise what you're doing. If you don't have investors, co-source with others. Okay, so if you have the deals, team up with a company or another deal sourcer who has investors. If you have investors and you don't have any deals, team up with a company or a deal sourcer that has the deals. And yes, you will earn less. You split the fees with them. You earn $2,500, for example, and they earn $2,500. But what you're doing is you're growing your credibility. You're learning on the job. You're building your success. And when you show that back into your next batch of investor shout outs, they're going to be like, oh, you know what? They've sold a deal. They kind of know what they're talking about. So they like this whole refurb thing. Yeah. All right. Let's see if we can buy something and work together. And this is the exact engine that I built. Okay, so we've got SiteFindr, which sells deals to investors. Okay, we work with deal sources, and yes, so the deal sources are finding the deals. SiteFindr sells those deals to investors. Okay, and yes, the investor will pay us £5,000, and yes, we are going to lose £2,500 of that and pay the deal sourcer. Okay, so every time we sell a deal, we've decided we don't need all the money. We will give it to the deal sourcer, because I'd rather have the deal sourcer earning money and bringing more deals so I can sell more to the investor. Now that means I'm going to earn a lot more money. It also means the deal sourcer is going to earn a lot more money faster. Okay, it's the same thing that you should be doing. And then to make sure that as a new sourcer or an aspiring sourcer, even if you're experienced, to be honest, to make sure you actually understand that. That's why we built just a few months ago the Hold My Hand sourcing community. Okay, it's just blown up. We've got 200 people, and we haven't really told anyone about it yet. Okay, it's just a few people, and it goes to show the system works when you've got support behind you, constant, like quite full-on support. you can be quite successful in this, quite successful. So you'd only really, if you're teaming up with other people, instead of doing 1 deal a month, you got to do 2 deals a month to make £60,000 a year, or do 1 deal a month and earn 30 grand a year. It's a hell of a lot of money. What can you do with an extra 30 grand? So this is a community-based setup, okay? Very, very similar to the property filter setup because it's built on the same framework. We're both using the same applications, okay? So you'll be very, very familiar, and I'll tell you something that's quite exciting. In the community, we are now giving our investors criteria. So once they've been onboarded with SiteFindr, because we go through that hassle of onboarding them, getting their proof of funds and everything, then we give that criteria to you in the community. We've just started doing this now, and it's going quite well. You can see the amount of comments and everything that's happening. Our own internal acquisitions, we call it buy boxes. That's just investors criteria. So you can actually go and source for these people. So you don't really have those problems anymore. Where do I find investors? You don't really have them. We give you all the stuff, deal calculators, kind of everything you kind of got in property filter, but specifically for selling. Okay, you get a handbook, get an AI valuation bot. You won't believe how good that thing is. Cheat sheets. You can use my proof of funds to secure deals. I don't care. I just need you to be selling deals, right? Because that's how we make money. Now, this will look very familiar because it's the same sort of layout, but every single day we are having at least 1 hour sessions. My last one was 3 hours long, and it is tonight actually from 8 till it was 11, but it should be 8 till 10, 8 to 9, 8 to 10. And we just look through your deals with a fine tooth comb. We look through your deals and I tell you, is your deal ready? Do I have an investor for it? And sometimes I will just call or message that investor straight away saying, by the way, I've got a potential deal for you. Are you interested in buying this? So I'm really trying to remove, it's like a whole hand-holding service. That's why we call it hold my hand sourcing. Okay, 6 to 8 actually is more like 10 to 12 hours per week to support you in selling deals. Okay, just wait for this. Wait until I tell you something. The goal is to get you earning £5,000 a month. That is our goal. If I can get all of you earning £5,000 a month, I'm happy. Because the more you sell, the more money I make. Okay, I can't earn any money without you selling deals. My business will not work. It just won't work. And I'll show you why it won't work in a minute. So now you don't have any problems. You've got access to our investors. You've got instant credibility from our brand. Happy to use it. You've got all the support you could want. You're part of a community, a deal sourcing community, specifically deal sourcing. And there's no other community in this country like this. Honestly, there isn't. So you can, again, focus on that one thing that makes you money, finding deals. Okay, and it's quite exciting. When you join our community, you can actually hot swap between the hold my hand sourcing community and the property filter community. Okay, but you have to already have joined our community to do that. So you can very easily just swap between the two. No extra effort. So how much does it cost to be part of this? This is still crazy to me. Okay, so it's £97 for your first month, and then it's £23.99, something like £23.97 a month. It's just nothing. Okay, there is an onboarding cost, and that's why the first month is a bit more expensive. But then your ongoing cost is just £24 a month for all of that stuff and a lot more. I haven't gone through it because I've run out of time. So if you sell one deal in 1 year, and I pay you £2,500. That's 8.7 years of support. One deal in 1 year. Now, I said to you, if you haven't ever done it, you might take a year to sell a deal. But there are a lot of people in the community who have just come in and just started selling because they've really dug into what they want to do. And then I said to Gilliam, okay, look, let's just do this. Anyone who's here on a Thursday between 2 and 3, 1 and 3 on a Thursday, clearly you're serious. Clearly you're serious. Let's just do something. We'll do it until 3 o'clock. You're going to get a 50% discount, okay, on that joining fee. So your first month is only £48.50, and then it's £23.98 a month, inclusive of taxes and whatnot. That's it. There's nothing else. Okay, there's no upsells. None of that stuff. I just want you in there because this doesn't make me money, right? £23 a month is not going to do anything. It doesn't cover the cost of running this thing. Where I make money is by you selling deals with us. Okay. So that's the important thing. I really, really want you to be there. So I know some of you are in the community already, and I know you guys are enjoying it. If you are, just give me a shout out. Reshma's just put a link in the description. You can click that and the code will already be in there. But that's basically it, right? And I hope that's been really valuable to you guys. I'm I'm hoping so the more people we can get in here, I know it's cheap, but the more people we can get in here, the more we can expand on this, right? I would like to have 2 sessions a day. Okay, and that's where the money goes. Really, it doesn't come to me. It goes to paying other people to do these live sessions, and that's what's going to make you more successful. If I make you more successful, you will stay with me. You will sell deals. So that's my goal, right? And by the way, we use Property Filter. If you come in the community, you already are using Property Filter. But yeah, we love Property Filter because it's the same. Gillian, we're very good friends. We've become friends over the last couple of years. We met, we saw each other in Belgium over Christmas, and we have the same business ethics, right? Our goal is to get you successful. If we do that, you stay with us. It's not like courses. It's not that way around, right? We're not selling you something where you just learn something and then disappear. That's why we have communities, both of us. Okay, so any New Year's Eve, that's what it was. Any questions, guys? I think we've got a few minutes for questions.
Yeah, hi everyone. Thank you for the lovely comments to everyone that's already in the community. I'm so glad that you guys are getting lots of value and starting to bring lots of much better deals from when you first started. So you're all doing a great job and we're super proud. Okay, quick couple of questions. What's the difference between the two communities? Okay, massive difference, even though we're heavily integrated. I know that some people get this confused. Property Filter is where you're finding the opportunities. Okay, you're going to use that to speed up the process of finding deals. Then what you do with them, how you can monetize of every opportunity and get specific support into selling those deals onto investors that already exist, is within Hold My Hand sourcing, where you get a link onto you get to leverage the investors, as Hav has been explaining through this. So hopefully that's clear. When you join, and a lot of you have already joined, so thank you. We look forward to seeing you in there. Just let us know when you're in, so we know and we can welcome you into the community. When you get in on the homepage, just say hi to everybody. Everyone's super friendly in there, and let everyone know what you're about, and so we can start talking you through the process. As soon as you join, you have access to all the resources. There's an AI bot in there as well that helps you. You use it to cross-check, right? Use it to cross-check your values. You can use it to identify the comparables in the area. So start having a play with all the resources in there and ask fellow members to help you if you need it. Just trying to see. What's the book Alison's asking, Hav? Do you know which book you're going to be sending out?
Yeah, it's called The One Thing. It's called The One Thing. It's a flipping good book. When you get your head around it and really understand, you don't really need to read between the lines because it's quite straight, self-explanatory. But it will sort your mindset out for sure.
It will give you that oomph. I think one other lady in our community also won this book, and she read it while she was on holiday, and it's changed her perspective on everything. And she's actually, putting all the effort in the right place now. I think somebody asked, I can't remember who it was now, but somebody asked, okay, if they're brand new and they know nothing, they haven't done deals before, would it be taking them a year to get a deal done?
The answer to that is very hard for me to answer that because I don't know your situation. Okay, if you can commit 3 solid full months to this, it will definitely not take you a year because you'll learn so fast. If you're working full time and you only have half an hour a day, or you're only watching the recordings of the things, it will take you time. You have to understand these things. You've got to build foundations first. You can't just go out and start doing this. You've got to understand how it works, learn from others, and then build on that. You've got to lay those foundational bricks first, okay, and then build. So that bit is the bit that takes time. When you get the system working, and that's why I want you guys to understand, you're building systems here. When you get the system working, it will just start flowing. It will just start flowing. I'm telling you that because I've done it. I'm doing it. Right? It's nothing complicated. So it just needs a bit of guidance. You need a bit of hold my hand support. You need your hand held. That's what we do. Okay, I'm not saying that we answer your questions every minute. That's not what this is. We give you all the support that you need. So you will be, as long as you stay and follow the plan, you will be successful. It's not if, it's just you will be successful.
And guys, everyone's different, right? There's been some people that have had no experience, but it's an input-output thing. You don't have to do this full time. And I think somebody correctly said in the comments, I mean, to discuss deals, and when you come and watch other people in the deal clinic specifically talking about how to sell and package deals on, you're learning so much by just attending those. You attend one a week or one a month, and you've probably got your whole month's value paid, from that one clinic. But we hold them every day. Because there's deals that come through in abundance through the community, which just need extra support to get them across the line. And that's the whole purpose of Hold My Hand Sourcing, is raising the quality of standards of deals that are put out to investors, because unfortunately a lot of people get it wrong, and it's just a matter of support and guidance, really. Thank you, Alison. It's a fantastic community. Really appreciate that. Just seeing if I think Patrick's got his hand up. Do you want to drop your question in the chat, Patrick? Or Guillaume, are you okay for Patrick to unmute himself, or what would you prefer?
Yeah, just quickly, those of you who won those prizes, make sure you DM me, otherwise, because I've already yeah. Okay, good. A few more people have joined. That's great. I'm really, really excited about that. Excellent.
I can see a lot of you have just joined. Welcome. Really excited to start seeing you in there and helping you progress. Well done for taking action.
So if I can add to that, so on the question, what's the difference, etc. So for me, it's very complementary. So with the software guys, we have a lot of information on what works, what doesn't work in terms of sort of finding and making deals. And traditionally, we've struggled to help the sourcers because there's a lot of work you have to do yourself. If you're an investor, you kind of know it's kind of easier for you. But with the sourcers, a lot of the time, as I said at the start in the introduction, if you think you have to entertain a pipeline of deals, of motivated sellers that you've viewed, you've offered, you're following up, you've got this one set of plates that are spinning, and then on the other side, you have somehow to find investors who are actually serious, which 99% of them aren't and are just a waste of time. Sourcers will have a bad rep, but in my experience, the investors are just as shit, they don't know how to stack their own deals. They don't, it's just really, really hard to go and find good investors. And then someone who's going to buy again and again. You have to sell them on the idea of buying it properly. It's just a waste of your time. And then you have to, qualify them. Have they got the funds? Are they liquid? Do they say what they say they have? Do they actually have got it? And then when you present them the deal they want, they become picky. It's just hell, right? So you have to have all of these planets lined up, and it's why 99% of sources never make it, right? So this solves this whole problem, because you can focus on building momentum, being really, really good at finding and making deals. And the more you do, the more will come to you, and you can actually build the momentum we talk about in this community. And so that you do from a deal a year to a deal a quarter to a deal a month to a deal a week, and it's not uncommon, right? If you can, maintain this deal flow over there, become the big fish in your area. And then basically, if you can outsource the whole thing of finding, vetting, qualifying, making sure they're liquid, the whole, sort of conveyancing deal progression to the team here, you can then do 10 times more stuff, So for sharing, you do 10 times more by sharing half of it, of course, make my pie half the, 10 times bigger, I'll share it half with you, So that's really why this works really, really well. And I find that the quicker you can get paid to get your next deal and the deal after, and the quicker you can build this momentum, the longer you're going to stay with us forever, So that's why I find this relationship works quite well and hand in hand. And so, if this is you, if you got into Property Filter in the first place because you wanted to source deals, make money from brokering opportunities to other investors, and then you realize on this sort of emotional graph here that it's actually a lot harder than the gurus make it look like, this is the solution. So you have the one tool and the support we give you here to give you an unlimited deal flow of motivated sellers. You can go and close, and on the other side, you can make money by selling them to the investors of the Hold My Hand Sourcing guys. So I think it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely. I know Jag just joined. Welcome, Jag. Thank you very much. Lovely to see you in there. Okay.
Cool. I've got any other questions? So I know, Patrick, if you want to type something, and we can. I don't know if you managed to couldn't get you on mute, but if you want to type something, I'm happy to answer that. Any other questions from anyone else? Otherwise, I want to be respectful of everyone's time. You guys have got any sort of closing sentiment? Reshma, have something else you want to
Go on, I'll let you talk, Reshma. I know you want to.
Well, yeah, look, I guess what I want to summarize with is if you're going to take away the biggest thing from this presentation is having that abundance mindset. That for me, when I realized that was the biggest switch, that allows you to scale. You see yourself as a property entrepreneur, that sky's the limit, but by not putting all your emotion into one deal, you're allowed to you open up your mind, and that's the point where you see a switch, and when the success really starts to kick in. Make sure that you're not just putting all your eggs in one basket, you're spreading yourself out, so when those deals do happen, you've got an abundance to keep falling back on. That's the biggest thing that I want everyone to take away from this. And this community will sit by you throughout your property business, your property journey. See yourself as the entrepreneur, and this will support you throughout that journey. So yeah, look forward to things. Thank you very much, G.
I'm able to help Andrea. So find a property for rent for a potential HMO, 3-bed ensuite. Can you have a look at the question?
Andrew says, I found a property for rent for a potential HMO, 3-bed ensuite. I called the agency. I said I was looking the property on behalf of somebody else. They refused to continue the conversation if I don't provide the name of the person who wants to rent it. Okay, so it was a rent to rent. Okay, so yeah, there's a whole script that we share in the community here, and I'll share it with you too. It's because you are doing this on your own, right? When you're partnered with, as Hav was saying, when you're partnered with ourselves, you're leveraging our credibility. So you're saying that you're working on behalf of a consortium of investors that look for properties just like this, and you're representing them. Yeah. So you're being truthful about the whole situation. They know it's not you, and that yes, you will get asked for, when you're dealing with sales, especially proof of funds and things like that. And we've got solutions to all of those things too. So it's really just securing the deal by getting an offer accepted and letting the estate agent know that you're working with a consortium of serious investors and you represent them in that area, which is exactly what you're doing when you partner with Hold My Hand Sourcing and SiteFindr investors. Hopefully that answers that.
Yeah, I think what it is if you said to them you're looking on behalf of somebody else, it doesn't really show any confidence or clarity, or it's not if that's how you said it. I'm just assuming that's how you said it. Yeah, it probably isn't coming across the right way. So talking to estate agents is an art. It really is. And we've got an unfair advantage that I think no one else has, that we've been the estate agent, and we've also been the deal sourcer, and we've been the investor talking to the estate agent. So we've been in every angle of this industry, right? So really understanding, making the estate agent understand that, okay, you are a representative of these other people. You've really got to get that across. Yeah, you're helping other people buy properties. You have access to so much money, and you as the estate agent have access to these properties. I want to get your property sold for you as quickly as I possibly can. Okay, I need to take this property to my investors. I need to show them. I don't know who that is yet, because there's a lot of them that I work with closely. And if you start talking in that way, which takes a bit of time, takes a bit of practice, you got to mess up, you got to make mistakes like you've done. You just get better every time you get better. Yeah.
And guys, we're actually just to help our community even more. We post videos of ourselves when we're doing estate agency calls, seller calls, investor calls. When Hav and I are doing this, sometimes because we just jump in, or if it's a great opportunity, it just needs that push over the line, or we're doing it for ourselves, we're just recording ourselves and posting on our Instagram. So just follow us there, and you can see a whole bunch of stuff, how it works, how are we speaking to estate agents when the deal's not one that we're buying. We're packaging it on for someone in our community, so you can see how quickly I'm building rapport with these agents with exactly the same script, and I've done so many deals that way. So yeah, feel free to go in and watch those too. We'll keep adding to.
So one final question from Lee here, asking, are you guys, any of you guys, or I think for the three of us, doing any live events? Are you guys doing anything?
Any live events? No, we'll do something. Probably we'll team up with Property Filter guys and you guys and do something later in the year.
Yeah, just so you know, it's a bit off topic, but you'll know a bit more next week, about the 14th of, or the week after, the 14th of March. We are doing something, which is a Saturday in Birmingham. And it's going to be all about social housing, back-to-back leasing, and some really exciting stuff we've been working in the background with Hanif and other people. So there'll be Daniel Hill, Jay Chohan, who does back-to-back leasing. There'll be lots of people who do really interesting things like that. So just 14th of March, keep it in mindly, and we can talk about it a bit later.
So
all right.
Just very quickly, Guillaume, just very quickly. That is actually really, really important, right? Remember earlier I said you want to, if you're going down the sourcing route, by the way, if you're an investor, you should still be selling deals, the ones that you're not taking. But if you're able to package stuff with what you're going to learn on the 14th, because I know what it is, you're gonna, this could blow up massively this year, next couple of years, right? And if you're able to package deals with what you're going to learn on the 14th, honestly, this whole my sourcing game is going to get so much easier, and you kind of got to be in the middle of that. You got to.
We can't tell you too much just now, but yeah, I mean, you'll never have a problem to sell a deal again, right?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Awesome, guys. Have we got any sort of closing sentiments, some last share for us today? And thanks so much for all the knowledge shares and things like that. Really appreciate it as always. Any last idea, any last thing for us?
From me, I just want to see more people make more money. So it's important that everyone is just thinking you can earn money in property. It's not just on investing. It's not just in selling. It's just in the world of property you can earn money. Okay, it is a mindset shift, and you have to be surrounded by the right people to understand that. Which you are really. You know you've got all of us here, so that's just keep at it, keep consistent. You'll make money. You'll make money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Reshma.
I echo that, but we're just very passionate about getting you guys successful, and I think sometimes, I think Guillaume says the same thing too. Sometimes we get to a point where we're just like, we want you to be successful more than you do yourself, and it's so true. Yeah. We've fully aligned ourselves to your success, so we believe in you and we give you everything. Right? We've lifted up the bonnet since our start of journey in property since 2012. So whatever resources we can give you to get more successful, that's what this community is there for. So super excited.
You make money when the deal is sold through you, right? So
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Got shit to do. Let's get on with it, guys.
Yeah, that's right.
With you.
I'll let you guys go on closing. Yeah.
No, I mean,
thanks a lot.
Not to get away from this. I mean, with everyone in here, we want to do stuff with you, and we're very excited about it. So yeah, let's do it. And so many of you have just joined from there. So you got another 20 minutes. I don't know why Hav's been so kind as to discounting 50% today, but there you go. So another 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, we had the chat, and I made sure you weren't in the conversation. It's all good now.
I don't know how we managed to dodge that one from
on the French guy.
That's why
we must really love you. All right, guys.
All right, so thank you
so much, everyone.
Bye. Thank you so much, both. And thanks everyone else for joining today's Deal Final Corner. So really hope you enjoyed it. Really looking forward to next week. In the meantime, visit propertyfilter.co.uk, log on to your PropsFilter account, have an endless supply of deals, join the top 1% and become a high achiever deal maker. And I hope you enjoyed today's Deal Final Corner like I did. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Thank you.